Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to the VAIL VRML Season 1 Challenger Cups Finals for the North American region. I am your host today, Yellow Hat, and today I have not one, but two other amazing people joining me on the casting bench. First, of course, I've got the lovely Gaijin, who is joining me earlier for our EU Challenger Cup, and then, of course, joining us for this evening is going to be Hertaj. How are you gentlemen doing?
I think I'll start it off. I was watching the Challenger Cup yesterday for VAIL, and it has been an interesting way to see how these players have been performing through that Challenger Cup. And I think it's a bit ironic that we managed to get the two Vanguard teams to head into Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially looking at that Challenger matchup, because I'm pretty sure they have met each other. I think it was in between round 3 and 4. That did go to, I believe, round number 17, which is the final round, and that was favored surprisingly in Sapphire's favor.
Yeah, I mean, it was we caught it yesterday, and they played on Miru, and yeah, it was a 9-8 game to end things off, and Sapphire just barely took the lead against Ruby, which, again, was kind of a surprise, at least for me, because, Ruby is higher ranked, and, Sapphire, I guess they have picked up some good players recently, and, they really showed us what they're made of. But today they'll be facing off in a best of 3, so, guys, I'll throw it to you. After yesterday's match, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think we're going to see today?
Well, yesterday I actually got the opportunity to play against both of these squads, and let me say Vanguard has fielded some excellent players on both fronts, and if you gentlemen have been given the script like I have, we knew it all had to come here. All roads lead to Vanguard in the end. And they even played up against each other yesterday, and it came down to 8-9 on the map, so it could honestly be anyone's game today.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, again, with an 8-9 victory or a 9-8 victory, and it's gonna be insane. Now, I had both the captains tell me that they're gonna pull some crazy strats today, and they wanted me to get super excited about it. So I'm interested to see what that's gonna be like. But Hertaj, what are you feeling kind of going into this match here? Are we thinking Sapphire's gonna win today, or Ruby?
If we look at the if we want to go based off yesterday alone, I do believe that Sapphire could win it, because they went 9-8 against their own team, which was against Ruby. But we do have to look on the side of Ruby. They played against Touch Grass, which was also sent to a round 17, and they ended up winning that. But I do believe that was the kind of breaking point for them, because they start to have a little bit of a worse run heading into the Challenger Cup. So now, since that day has passed, they only have to play one match, so maybe the tides could turn a little bit. But I think this still could go either way, as long as Sapphire know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I say, nearly every cast, anything can happen, and I'm certain that that statement will still ring true. And kind of to it'll be interesting to see, because both these teams are playing for very high stakes, right? They're playing for that 8th place spot today. The winner of today's match will move on and be in the top 8, and will be having the opportunity to compete to be able to go to Denver, the VRML con that's happening July 20th and 21st out in Denver. It's sure to be a blast. It's going to be featuring, of course, the game that you're seeing here, VAIL, as well as Breachers, Onward, and X8. Breachers teams have been decided, and soon enough the VAIL and the X8 teams will be decided. Not sure about Onward, but I know that will probably get wrapped up soon if it hasn't already. So it'll be interesting to see the best of the best in VR trying to claim their titles in person. It's always interesting, especially doing an in-person event, right? I feel like you got a little bit more bragging rights there, but nevertheless, I think it's gonna be a fun time overall. But in the meantime, of course, we are just waiting to hear our lobby info, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss it. Okay, we have 8 out of 10 on this lobby, so Just gonna let our captain know here that once they get 10, just to let me know, and then we'll be going right into it.
Fantastic. Everyone, I'm super looking forward to this matchup, as a lot of the best of threes that we've casted the last few days have all just been 2-map sweeps, just been super clean, super dominant, and I am praying that we actually get a third map today and that we actually get to see Sunna. Because for some reason, everyone just seems to be avoiding it, and I think there's a good chance we'll get there, because even down to the win rates for the regular season, these teams are so evenly matched. Vanguard Ruby having a 6-7 win rate in the season, and then Sapphire having an 8-6. So on paper, Sapphire does have the edge there, but still, I think going to be a great game.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. I mean, why do you think people are intentionally avoiding Sunna? What do you think? Why are we seeing a lot of Miru and a little bit of Kitty?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you entirely, just because, but I could tell you for my team, we feel like it could potentially be like upset heavy, just from the fact that it's just a very, like, whoever can win their aim duels can usually come out with an edge on that map, and tactics don't quite give you the same advantage that they do on the other maps.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm personally a fan of of Sunna, and so hopefully we do get to see that today. It looks like we have all 10 in the lobby, so I'm just gonna confirm, and then we'll be getting right into the action. So let me just go ahead and do that real quick.
Thankfully, they did give us code, so and it looks like that they are all in a picnic. So we should just be clearing them to just go into the lobby. And my question is, what map do you think we're gonna go to first?
That's a tough question. I mean, Miru, if I'm not sure who gets the pick here, but if Sapphire were to get the pick, I feel like they go Miru. They had victory on that yesterday. Maybe want to see if they can repeat that for game number 1, or maybe they want to keep it in the back pocket for game 3. But if it does go to a game 3, but I mean, I don't think either team will pick Sunna, so I'm feeling like best 2 out of 3, Kitty or Miru. But with the trend of all the teams yesterday that played NA, I'm leaning towards Miru, honestly.
Towards Miru. I think that's what we kind of expected ever since Tarmac ever kind of made the map a bit better for competitive play. I think everyone just kind of agreed that would be the best map. But I do kind of want to throw in a wild card and say that I kind of, probably because I'm a huge Kitty rat, but I kind of want to see Kitty first.
Yeah.
Because I do love how close it is.
Yeah.
And you get a bunch of different playstyles that you wouldn't normally find with things such as Sunna or Miru, where you would play a lot more passive.
I think that I think it's likely also that we see Kitty potentially as the first pick, just because these guys did just play one another on Miru and it went in the favor of Sapphire. So honestly, if I'm Ruby, I'm trying to avoid Miru early, unless, because of course, it was won by a small margin. I think that I can do a little bit better than I did before, but I think there is a good chance that we see Kitty for the first map here.
Yeah, it should be interesting. And then let's see. I mean, I feel like Kitty would be. I feel like Kitty would be an interesting pick too, especially because honestly, of the 3 maps, I feel that it is the most sided map. It's very defender heavy, as we've talked about in earlier casts, and I think especially if you're able to get that side pick for game number 1, I think that you'll be able to start off with the advantage and just kind of get that early momentum going. But at the same time, I feel like if both teams know that, maybe they avoid picking Kitty. It's always a tough call, and ultimately I think I do feel like it's going to be either Kitty or Miru, but we will go ahead and see. I'm going to give the teams the go-ahead to start right now, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Fantastic. I'm just honestly so excited for this match. Really want to see how it's going to go. But yeah, honestly, more than anything, like I said earlier, I just want to see Sunna because we haven't seen that in quite a minute. So, I don't know, Heritage, what are you looking forward to in this match?
I'm pretty sure I've said it before. I would like Sakiti, but we're about to go into our first match, which is going to be Miru.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We can get that one out of the way. We've seen enough of it. We've seen enough of it the last few days.
Let's make sure we got everything. We got our Miru shebang going on. My thing is loaded. We're getting right in the action. Ruby versus Sapphire, a battle of the ages, and we are right into it. And let me make sure I get those teams swapped. So we have Sapphire starting over on the Rayab side and Ruby starting over on the Colonist side. So we'll do a little aerial overhead and then we'll follow with them. It's looking like we're going to be starting off with a B take right off the bat. We do have, of course, Quick going to be the first person here to be doing really much of anything. Let me...
Oh my gosh, Dank gets the opening pick on mid to a player he couldn't even see with a grenade toss. And it looks like Ruby's going to have a player lurking in mid. They crab walk up to B, and there wasn't any Sapphire presence on site. They're just playing entirely for the retake with a 4v5.
Yeah, they're trying to go for this, and now the side of Ruby have to push on through. They're trying to change shots. Mad's able to find Dank before they even try to push side B off the flank, but Raf is able to find one onto Emilio, as now they're able to play this retake, but they have to scan and defuse this scanner right here, as that's what Quick is going, or no, that's Aris that's going to be attempting to defuse. So now as the side of Sapphire have pushed their way through and got the first round here on the pistol. So now we head into the second round where both of these teams are going to have rifles in hand.
Absolutely masterclass retake by the Sapphire side. They had the man disadvantage. Scanner was down. Ares stuck the deactivation, and his entire team covered him. And none of the Ruby players were able to get back in sight and did not the deactivation. What an excellent play by them.
Yeah, I mean, with all the utility and everything, Vanguard Gaming Ruby really weren't able to, even try to attempt to stop the defuse. Oh, Quick goes down with a nade, and Sapphire answering off very early with a grenade kill there. So a good start for the Sapphire squad as Vanguard Gaming Ruby looking to go towards that B site. Actually, Dank going to be pulling off there for just a sec. We'll follow with Emilio here, who's going to be wrapping over towards mid. But as I said, look at this. 4 players over on the B side here. Only 1 to defend the A side. So if a rotate does come in, that is going to be a tough call for the rest of...
No, this is a rotate. They're having their scanner player heading towards the A site. That's towards this back side of... And now they're going to be trying this. They're going to make this rotate as the Wraith has to defend this sniper tower side, because if Wraith goes down, that's A control. But I think they have A already. Wraith is going to swing and finds Emilio, but has to keep defending. If that smoke on the stair side is going to be blocked off. And now Titan has to push through and has to find at least a pick. Seinfeld finds a Wraith, and Titan finds one, able to receive on the other side. Swad is able to take down Seinfeld, and it's just down a Haunted into a 1v4. And just 30 seconds left on the clock. Does find one with the frag grenade. Haunted still in that 1v3 scenario. 20 seconds left. This looks nearly impossible for Haunted unless Haunted is able to find a miracle.
Just 15 seconds left, though. He's got to move.
I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, no, the Ruby players are not giving him, or excuse me, the Sapphire players are not giving him anything except for a bullet to the head as Ares closes out that round. Honestly, that was looking like a very good round for Ruby. That was an excellent rotation. They kept a little bit of pressure on the B site to keep the Sapphire players anchored there, and then that rotation was excellent, but then the utility usage out of Ruby kept them off the A site just long enough to utilize this map's fast rotations. Excellent play.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, even with the man disadvantage, just the fact that Vanguard Gaming Sapphire kind of rotated early, they had 4 players over towards the B site. If Ruby had realized that just a little bit sooner, and again, that is the curse of the casters that happen. Ooh, a nade coming in. No damage could be done to Blade there. And again, we're seeing a split up Ruby here. We do see Emilio going to be lurking over towards the A site, maybe potentially to get some attention. And Spawn potentially going to be seeing a player there. They do throw some utility, and they're going to actually wind up falling back. Ooh, Spawn taking some damage. They know exactly where he's at. Flashbang going to be coming out. Smog looking for the early kill, but just like that, 2 kills go in the way of Vanguard Gaming. Ruby here, Wraith going to be taking out Emilio. Flashbang coming out from Ares. Might have to wait for his teammates here, but the scanner has been planted. The rotate is coming in. A 3 versus 4 retake here, and Seifeld going to be catching at least one of the players for some damage over on the rotate there. Dank looking for more. Does pick up Ares there. Going to be swinging out. Titan does take out Dank, and now it's a 2-on-3 retake. But the players are mostly off-site, but still in good positions to try to stop this defuse from coming in. 15 seconds left on the clock, and they need to try to act fast. Wraith goes down, and now a 1 versus 3 headshot going on to, I believe, Titan there, who's very low on health, but presumably he's going to be passing away here as he tries to go for some bit of damage, but Haude going to be able to finish that kill, and Vanguard Gaming Ruby pull off their first round.
Honestly, excellent round out of Ruby there. They had the scanner ready to go out onto site at any moment for a good 30 seconds or so there, but they didn't push out until they had the correct opportunity to do so, and they were able to hold off Sapphire's retake, which, as we saw earlier in the match, are very, very strong. Yeah, great play out of both sides, but Ruby came out on top. And it looks like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They are going for potentially another slow B take with 1 player straggling towards A.
So we see they're just slowly creeping up. And again, we saw this yesterday. Ruby are very good at changing the pace of a match at a given notice. Sometimes they can be aggressive, sometimes they can be slow.
Dank's just going aggro. Dank's going aggressive. Dank might actually be able to find at least 1 pick. Smoke's there, but through the smoke finds 1, but Smat's able to get that trade, as that's going to be another post plant actually. But Quick is able to complete the scan. It's now with 45 seconds left to play. As now decided Sapphire have to make their way through. Nade's being thrown. Haunter's able to find Smat through the box. There's going to be another flash toss. Seifield's able to find 1 through the pitch. Quick goes down, and it's just down to 2v3. But the retake might be possible there. Sapphire is just down to 1 player. Titan left alone into a 1v3. And with the time pressure and player advantage in the favor of Ruby, this looks like a potential tie in rounds. 10 seconds left on the clock. Titan does find Emilio through the wall, but unfortunately there is not enough time. Nade's being thrown, and there's just nothing Titan could do, as that's the second round secured and a tied round for Ruby.
Yeah, honestly, great play out of both sides there. This is really coming out to be something like a bare knuckle brawl, just incredibly close rounds, just being traded back and forth. I think this is going to be an incredibly close series.
If yesterday's match was any inclination of what's going to be happening today, I mean, we could be seeing a 9-8 game here. Don't want to, call anything too early, as the caster curse has, prevented me from doing so in the past. But, both these teams, like we said, are evenly matched, and you're seeing it right here. I mean, they're just going back and forth in rounds, and just the fact that they're able to do that, I mean, it's hard to even predict who's going to, take this one home. We saw pretty decisive matches earlier, but ultimately speaking, Seifeld going to be taking some shots there and getting some shots onto Spawn there, who's going to be forced back over towards the B site. Seifeld just doing a good job of holding off the rotation. I think gets a shot onto Ares there. Just a body shot, a little flesh wound. Amelia going to be going down to Wraith. The lurk is down. Look at this, Quick again with the bomb by themselves, or scanner, excuse me. And they're just looking to see if anybody rotate. But again, look at this early rotation coming out from Vanguard Gaming Sapphire. They have committed 4 players over towards the B site, and even potentially a 5th, as Wraith is going to look to rotate over towards mid. And if Quick doesn't make any steps, then maybe they can get the scanner
I think
down on
the lurk here on Quick, this lurk here on Quick might have to be a deciding factor for this round. If Quick's able to at least find a couple of players, it's just by crouch walking and maybe at least able to clear side. But on the other side, Smad's able to find Dank. There's a lot more action on that B side, as that's going to force the side of Sapphire to make this rotate. Titan, though, on the other side, is able to take down that roam, as Safield's able to take down Smad. Just down to a 4v2. Not looking good for the side of Ruby. So now Seifeld is able to find Rev, but Titan is able to take down Haunted. Just down to Seifeld into a 1v3, and 5 seconds left. They have burned so much time that they just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, no, and then also Quick getting caught entirely alone in the middle of A site with the scanner. You just can't take risks like that at this level of competition, and it got entirely taken advantage of. Just so late into the round, his teammates weren't able to recover anything.
Yeah, I mean, especially carrying the scanner by yourself is some risky business, especially if you are, taken out or whatnot. Like, the fact that you have the scanner, I mean, that just immediately tells the defense, hey, rotate here and let's just hold it down. But look at this, Dank once again going for the aggro. But the question is, do they check the corner? And in fact, number 3 is pitched between a couple players. Quick actually able to dispatch Swan there, and they're going to be able to get onto the B side. Dank getting a little bit aggressive there. Presumably the scanner will go down soon after the barrage of utility. But also look at this too. I mean,
are they thinking?
They could be. I mean, we're seeing a potential rotate here.
No, they're stacking on this. They're stacking on it. They're going to play a lot more cautious. But I think they're doing the same thing. They're sending one player onto that A site. If they don't find anything, that's going to force the rotate from the side of Ruby. They're just going to make this attempt. But they're still trying to lay fire onto this B site. But Emilio does fall. The roamer does keep getting caught off guard. But the side of Ruby, they keep doing this every time. They're spying so much time that they need to commit to something. They just can't stay towards this mid side, as there's a smoke there to maybe deny vision. But they're going to have to commit to something. They only have 40 seconds left to play with.
Yeah, and we see Dank making the right through the smoke, and Seifeld and Dank both picking up the kills there. And, all of a sudden now it's a 4-on-2 retake, or 2-on-4 retake situation here for Blade and for Ares to try to pull off, a tall ask here. But look at this too, Dank just going right around, Quick to be taking out Blade, and presumably there it is, Dank getting the kill on Ares just like that, and Vanguard Gaming Ruby tied up again.
Honestly, what a close match so far. I didn't know whether to make heads or tails of that round, just because Ruby spent so much time in the mid position while having individual players just continually poking damage, making noise on one site. They baited multiple rotations out of Sapphire, and I couldn't tell you where they were going, and I have a bird's eye view, so.
Yeah, and I mean, we see the scoreboard there. Seifeld doing the most work for our friends over on the Ruby side. 10-3 right now. Titan over on Sapphire doing 7-5. So, good work coming out of both teams for the most part. But here right now we're seeing a slow approach over towards the A site. And again, Vanguard Gaming Ruby, they really like these slow approaches. They want to use that clock as much as they possibly can. And in fact, we actually do see Dank getting a little bit aggressive. Baiting out a lot of utility, actually. Sapphire throwing some of their utility. Amelia, though, going to be throwing a smoke of their own. Nades coming out, and I don't think Sapphire really know whether to make heads or tails of where these players are going.
I think Sapphire are learning because they're anchoring much harder on the B side than they were previously. They're anchoring hard to keep their map control, and yeah, it's only now that we're seeing the rotation, whereas in previous rounds they would have just immediately ran at first contact. Oh, but Quick just swung on the back site with the scanner. The scanner is down behind the back site. That might be coverable here by Dank all the way almost to B. But it might be too little too late, because Blade is the last alive for the Sapphire side. between a rock and a hard place. He has a very powerful position, but is surrounded on almost all sides by Ruby players, and he has 30 seconds to get his hand on that scanner and deactivate it.
There's 30 seconds left to work with. It's a pre-fire coming in from Blade. It was just trying to find Haunted, but the nade's going to be thrown, and none of those players are budging the peak. Haunted swings through and does find Blade, as that is going to be the round lead, I believe, for the first time for Ruby.
Yeah, no, it's been just a heavy back and forth between these teams, and yeah, I think like they've been either like one step behind or tied, but this is the first time they're pulling out ahead, and it is on the less favored side, so they're at least closing it out on 4-4. Let's see how much that helps them in the defense. But for now, they seem to be making their way decisively towards the A site, a little slowly. So they seem to be favoring a lot of these slow takes, waiting to give information until the absolute last moment. And
I mean, Amelia, we see all these players. They're taking a really slow approach. Again, we did say that Vanguard Gaming Ruby, they do like their slow pushes, and again, just the anchors coming in pretty hard. A failed nade, unfortunately, for the Ruby squad there. Smokes do come out from Emilio. We're gonna see the pinch here in just a second. Taking out. Hold up! The quad feed!
Rave has just been on fire on a 4K. He's going to get the ace! Is the ace possible? Emilio is just tucking in, but I'm pretty sure Blade will gladly steal that ace there.
Stolen
but
ace.
Rave, what a play! That is a highlight and a half right there.
The 4K coming out of Wraith, and we are so glad that we were able to catch it there. Vanguard Gaming Ruby and Sapphire are going to be tied up going into the second half here, 4-4. Man, we said it was going to be close, and currently we're not eating our words yet. But I have a wooden desk that I'm currently knocking on, and oh yeah, we're back to the whole crab walking business here. I forgot about that from yesterday.
I mean, it's the same organization. They're both.
Yeah, I mean,
under
you
Vanguard
expect
Gaming.
them to scrim each other like once every day. You probably know how they act by now. I think that's the thing with these like sister teams, that they'll always play each other. As it's gonna be another push, it's gonna be a slow walk, only sending one player towards this tunnel side, which is a bit of an interesting call. Because usually, if you're
they're alone with the scanner.
Yeah, but the push there coming in from Titan, that's gonna be able to find a trade. But now Ares has made their way through the A side, and there is no utility from the side of Ruby to respond to it. Now Titan is able to find Quick, as that, I believe, could be the guaranteed scan. That's going to go live. Blades and Wraith able to find two. And it's just down to Seifeld into a 1v3. Does find one, and does find two, but unfortunately goes down to Blade.
Honestly, so much of what makes the difference between teams at this level is their level of coordination on the attacking side in particular, because your individual skill can carry you so far on defense, but you need coordination on the attack. And I think that this is Sapphire's opportunity to say, hey, we've put in the work, we're more coordinated, we're moving as a unit, and that they're going to be able to take the advantage in the second half.
I mean, truly, I would fear a 4-man crab walk. That is pure coordination right there. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
I feel like your team has revolutionized the crab walk all the way back in Miami. But yeah, it's the exact same push. And I think, as what you said, Gajan, all the way back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I feel like this could very easily be broken.
Oh no, this could go bad our way. If Quick does find this timing, that's going to be a flash, but that's going to be a swing, and that is Scanner immediately down. And I'm not sure if Quick has called it out, as that's going to be the push. A million through the cross is able to find three. Tank finds one, and in a blink of an eye, a push that goes wrong. And this time, the push has definitely broke.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was just saying, it's like it comes down to coordination, and the player with the scanner came up through the underpass, and none of their teammates were in a position to be able to support them, and they were also too busy getting shot in the back because they weren't clearing their angles. Honestly, in moments like these where the pressure can get to you, this is make or break in the Challenger Cup finals.
Yeah, I mean, Amelia there literally quadrupling their kill count, but just waited patiently, waited for the push to come right through, and was able to get 3 of them in the back. So it was Wraith who got the quad feed, and
Dank
Amelia
is going aggressive. They just pushed their way through B main, and that's going to be util. Blade is fine, able to find one, but this deny here. But Dank's only able to find one through this push, as it's just down to 2v4, and Ruby just manages to have the disadvantage at this rate. And just what happened?
I don't know. That flurry of kills just came through so fast, and it's a 4v2. So like Sapphire are just committing to this player, thinking, hey, if we can trade out 2 players. This is easy. In fact, they don't even need to trade him out because Smod just absolutely runs over Haunted, and it leaves Quick, the longest rostered player of this team, against the world.
1v4, just side of Sapphire. They have this angle. They're locking on the Quick. You just look at the lasers, and Quick does find one, does find 2, but ends up having to trade that kill, as that has Sapphire getting their 6. And it's been going a lot better on this offensive side, even though it's been pretty close.
Yeah, no, it does seem that so far Sapphire have proven they have a slight edge on the offense. But it's a matter of whether or not they can keep it up, how adaptable Ruby are going to be, because so far this entire game, we have only ever seen a team have a 1-round lead. And this is the first time either team could get a shot at being more than just 1 round ahead and also being closer to securing that first map. Let's see if Sapphire are able to do just that.
Yeah, and we see Emilio going to be making their trademark play of, just kind of pushing through. Emilio does like to get aggressive here. The question is who's actually going to find who first. And we did see Titan take some early nade damage. They're down at 50% health. Oh, this is so tense. A Small going to be taking out Emilio and punishing that aggression and just the ability to get that. And look at this, the fight going on over in middle. Seifeld getting tagged on very low. Not even wanting to really peek this anymore. And that's going to give Swan here a little bit of space over in the midsection. And we're going to see a Sapphire slam. Dang.
They have B, as Swan in time does find 2. It's just down to Quick and Seifeld. As Seifeld goes down, just down to Quick, all the way back. We've seen it last time in this scenario, 1v3. Difference is that Blade does have the better advantage, but Blade goes down. This is actually clutchable, but Quick is also on a slitter of health. And Quick trying to spray, at least try to find a single pre-fire, maybe one single highlight of the player outline. But Quick has a lot to deal with. There's 25 seconds left, no utility to work with, no way to force a player into Quick's favor. So now Quick has to push through. It's just a pre-fire through the box. There's going to be no time left as Swan pushes on through, and that is for the first time in this map as Sapphire leads by 2.
Yep, no, that is the moments like that are the absolute difference makers for like who are championship caliber teams and who are not. And Sapphire are proving once again that they are the better team on this map. But now that they have something of a lead for the first time in this match, let's see if the nerves get the better of them and if they hold on to it.
Yeah, we're going to see potentially if we have another pre-nade like we did last round. But it looks like Dank is trying to get aggressive again. They're going to be creeping up into this little cubby spot over here. No early util coming out of our Vanguard Gaming Ruby folks here. They're trying to hold on to it potentially for the actual site take. But we're seeing, I think, some shots ringing out from somebody over in mid. Everybody just kind of holding on to angles, though. Not really much of anything going on, but Emilio learning their lesson from last round, not getting super aggressive and, opening the door for the Vanguard Gaming Sapphire folks there. Again, still just shots ringing out, but no real damage done.
No, we're halfway through the round, and these are the first util, the first damage being exchanged at all. Oh my goodness! And Emilio gets the scanner down towards B main, at with the tight angle through alley, but it looks like Sapphire is stuck in their tracks. And both of these teams started out by adjusting to how one another plays, trying to cancel out or prepare for aggression. And for the first time, that aggression's getting punished on Emilio there. And it's a 3v4. Sman might be realizing, hey, we have the A site, because his teammates are going to be calling that there is a lot of presence towards B. They're starting to rotate. It might be a little bit of an over-rotation out of Dank as he gets picked.
Just
Blake
down to
grabs
a
the scanner.
1v3. They do have scanner in hand, but there is no time. And I think this is starting to kind of have a repeat of what Ruby did back in the first half, especially starting on the colonist side, where they just won't have enough time. And hopefully they don't repeat what they did with the side of Ruby, because they've burned so much time.
Yeah, no, losing to the clock, like, that is painful. They started out slower there because they were anticipating a push off of B, because that is how Ruby has been playing this whole time. But Ruby is holding their pushes because they see that they're getting punished. And it didn't seem like Sapphire was ready to act quickly after they had run down the clock. They're so used to having more time to work with, but they played it just a little too slow for their own good last round.
They're doing another crab walk. They're crab walking their way all to A this time. No tunnel push this time. They're having Rave that is trying to cut off that flank, but I don't think this is going to end well. Dank, oh my goodness. They'll spot the players. They'll spot too. As that the crab walk has failed, as it's just down to a 2v5 from wasting time to wasting your players, as Emilio in the corner cuts out the last two, as that is going to be another tied round. And all the way back, this is more closer than it's been. And I just thought when you think Sapphire was getting a grasp.
Oh, man, this
they seem to be, the pressure either is getting to them, but it also, I can't help but think, in their shoes, I'd feel just a little unlucky. You play expecting aggression, and it costs you the round. And then you play not anticipating their aggression because they're adjusting from the previous round, and again they get you in the back and it costs you the round. So we might just be seeing a fast slam out of them. They're saying, okay, if you're going to take map control, so are we. We're just going to go fast and hard into the site, take everything we can for better or worse. And it seems to be for worse, because they've lost 2 players for 1 off the bat, and they haven't fully secured the site. Quick grabs another. It's a 2v4. Oh my god, make it a 0v4 in the blink of an eye. Quick showing why he's been with the organization the longest out of any of these players, putting his team on map point, potentially reversing his fortunes from yesterday, but we still have 2 rounds to figure that out for sure.
Oh, you love to see the little 1-2 punch. We saw that earlier today, and Quick showing us how it is done, getting that quick triple kill. And Vanguard Gaming Sapphire, they need to lock in. They need to figure out how to adjust and, you know, try to see what they can do going into this final round here potentially. Syfel going to be throwing a bit of utility going in, trying to hold on to mid, but we see the push lined up. Look at this. Dank gets immediately cut down there, as B site is going to start opening up for the Vanguard Gaming Sapphire, folks. The rotation has come in from these 3 players. Wraith finds 1, finds 2. Quick answers with a double nade. Wraith picking up another one, and all of a sudden it's Emilio versus 3. Somehow this round has just gone like that, and Amelia has to try to clutch up, but we are seeing yet another potential 8-8 scoreline here. Emilio on that flank, though, 1 versus 3. They don't really have a lot of time to mess around with, and presumably they get traded out here, but oh man, just the quick kills in succession.
There's 15 seconds. I don't think Emilio has enough time. If they do it through, it's a push through, and Wraith finds Emilio, as that is a final round. Is this decides who gets the first map.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I read the script the first time, I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't know it was going to be quite this exciting. Wraith getting his second 4K of the match to secure the site take after a bunch of thwarted pushes from his team, just cracking the site open. Now let's see who is going to have the impact, who's going to make the difference, and actually secure this map for their team.
Oh, Seinfeld getting aggressive and getting punished for it, almost losing their life, but they're now going to be forced to fall off, and that's going to open up the things for Sapphire to get a little bit of map control. But look at this, Emilio has pushed all the way through A, so that's telling the rest of the Sapphire or the Vanguard Gaming Ruby squad that, hey, they're not going A, they're going B. Quick, pick up the first kill onto Smod there. They're trying to get the kills. Ares, though, takes out Quick. Dank able to get the kill onto Wraith. Dank to picking up another kill. Titan getting the kill as well. And look at this.
And they don't know they're being flanked.
They're being flanked. They don't realize this.
Oh,
as Titan does find the flank, just down to 2v2. It's just down to a minute left. But look at the HP difference. They're even in HP. And there's just a minute left on the clock.
Are they going to run it to A? Ares is running it to A.
They can't. They can't run to A because they have Seinfeld who's watching that angle. They're going to be audible if they make this rotate. There's 45 seconds left. There is no utility for either side. They don't have a smoke or anything to deny vision, force a player out, or make any type of aggression, as they could be making this. But there's 30 seconds left. They cannot be stalling for this long.
Yeah, they have to fully commit to this. Seifeld in the bunker location at such a powerful spot. Ares is going to hit it. Oh my god! And it's a 1v2. Dank. His whole team's aspirations on his shoulders. Ares is stuck on site. He heard a footstep. He knows Dank is here.
Ares.
And Ares gets the pick. And it's a repeat from yesterday. It's a heartbreaker for Ruby. But Sapphire comes out on top on Miru against their squad mates once again. Oh my goodness.
And let's have a look at that scoreboard here. Wraith 17-12, Titan 14-13, Small 12-12, and over on the Ruby side, Dank 15-12, Quick 15-13, Seifeld 15-10, 45 kills between the three of them. I mean, we're seeing some decently even contributions here, but let's go ahead and roll that. Vanguard Gaming Sapphire gonna be taking the fat W there for game number 1. And we'll be waiting for them to get into game number 2 here in just a moment. But man, what a set of matches. I mean, or what a first match there. Miru going the way of Vanguard Gaming Sapphire, and you know, they could close it off on this second game. And so, you know, if you're in their position, what are you thinking? You thinking Kitty or you thinking Sunna?
Yeah, a little bird told me that the players have already decided, and we are heading into Kitty. So I'm a little bit proud that we actually get a Kitty on second map rather than having that as the decider. So, you know, the APC rat in me is a bit happy that we went here. So Sapphire that chose map, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and so they are going to be starting off on that colonist side. Ruby going to be starting on the advantageous defense there. But, you know, it might not even matter. We'll see as we get into the first pistol round of game number 2. Vanguard Gaming Sapphire looking to have a 2-0 victory, and Vanguard Gaming Ruby looking to answer back as we see yet again another. Actually, no, they're going full aggressive here. Utility coming out. We'll get a little bird's eye view for just a moment here. Nades coming out. No damage done just yet. And Seifeld looking for the early shots. We do see some damage. Seifeld actually picking up the kill onto Ares there. Blade and Haunted.
And just like that, it's a 4v4, or excuse me, 3v4. But Sapphire have site control. They are slowly getting surrounded by the Ruby side, who seem to have a disconnect as well. Titan gonna clean up Dank there, put it into a 3v3. The scanner hasn't gone down yet. Oh, there, and Caster's Curse. Titan goes for the peak. Escapes with his life, takes some damage. The players on the retake, Quick and Haunted, very low. And Quick, 1 HP in a dream in a 1v2. But they know where he is. He knows he's getting surrounded, and Titan closes it out for Sapphire.
Man, some of the trigger fingers on these guys on their pistols is insane. And oh no, it looks like Ruby actually lost a player there. Nope, they get right back in. I'm just gonna
Double
shut
caster's
up
curse.
now.
That's just commentator's curse right there. This is why we don't speak of things when they're on the screen.
I sure hope we don't have 2 more 8-9 nail biter maps. Oh no.
Oh please.
Oh.
But anyways, trying to ward off the evil spirits of the caster's curse there. We're getting into the first full rifle round for both these teams. Vanguard Gaming Sapphire taking that pistol round on the offense, and again, you don't want to lose too many rounds if you're on defense. And
they're crab walking again. They're doing this push onto Museum, and this might be a kamikaze rush. Now you have Titan there, is unsuccessful with that frag grenade. But the moment I believe if Sapphire, then one of these players throw a util, that is going to be the push. It's going to be a gunfight between Dank. But I'm not sure if Dank realizes that there is a push from the other side. But Seifeld is holding from the backside, but is unfortunately unable to find one because you have 2 players that are pushing through main that are fully crouched. That's going to be the flashbang through. That is unsuccessful, but Brave's able to find Seifeld through that backside. Quick's able to find one. With that frag grenade made thrown to bridge side, but that might be the push through. They have control of A, and just quit. And the side of Ruby are unable to make their way into the A side. That is going to be the plan. And Quit goes down, just down to Emilio into a 1v4, and no utility left. And in 1v4, that is nearly impossible to try and make.
Yeah, I mean, Emilio has his work cut out for him. Oh, gets spotted, and Wraith going to be taking out Emilio just like that. And Vanguard Gaming Sapphire taking yet another round. The flank, unfortunately, not working. But, oh, man, Vanguard Gaming Sapphire, they're looking strong after game number 1, and they mean business in this game.
Absolutely. And honestly, with how close that last match was, with how much, adrenaline and how emotional everyone is feeling, that had to be such a huge boost for Sapphire, but it had to be so soul crushing for Ruby. And I think we're seeing it in their gameplay because Ruby's defense on Miru was hallmarked by a lot of aggression that honestly worked out in their favor a lot of the time, either for map control or for picks. But for here, we're seeing them play usually a safer defense.
Look how close Dank pushed. Dank just made their way towards the side, but I'm not sure if Dank's going to be spotted, and that is a full trade. Quick's able to find time with the frag grenade, but Sapphire has to push their way through. But this time, Ruby anticipates it. They have a player on their side. They have a nade thrown by Seifeld, but still, Seifeld couldn't find one, making it down to a 3v3, and they expected it. But the firepower coming in from Sapphire, they still have map control. They still have this A site, and it's just down to a normal 3v3 with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Haunted trying to see if they can find a pick. Actually tries to find the feet of Wraith there. I don't think able to connect a shot. Blade able to get the kill on the Quick. And so now it is a 2-on-3 retake situation here. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to really try to retake this site. Again, Emilio just on that flank doing what Emilio does. But the question is, are they going to be able to find players without making a sound? And he's just going to walk right past. Wraith is going to punish him for that. And now it's Haunted versus 3. That is a firm reminder, courtesy of Captain Price, to check your corners. And Haunted could be looking the wrong way. And just like that, the double swing coming out from Vanguard Gaming Sapphire. They're 3-0 right now. And this is the biggest lead we've seen from the Sapphire squad so far.
I want to point out that they are up 3-0, starting as colonists.
Oh my goodness, that has got to be...
That is some demoralizing stuff if you're on the side of Ruby. Because statistically, this is some of the most Ray-upsided stuff that ever made VAIL.
Yeah.
But to win it 3-0, starting as colonists, is something to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean,
if Sapphire doesn't get another round on their attack side, if Ruby somehow brings this back and it's a 5-3 half before they go on to the offense, I'm still sweating if I'm Ruby. I am very nervous about that.
Emilio aggressive. Emilio, I'm not sure what was going on, but just to push through, and B's wide open. You look at your mini-map, no one's there by the bubble. They have to push through the arches, but Quick might be late to this push. So now Quick's going to open it. Seifeld on the other side is able to find Titan, but B is fully open. That's the plan. And I'm not sure what just happened as Ruby just gave up B. They've had the player get aggressive, and now this is looking like the fort for Sapphire.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. That
man.
what? Oh, I don't know what that pushed through through your own smoke. I don't know what that was, but it's just telling your opposition, "Hey, take my site." You know, like here's free map control. And, oh, but Dank!
No, never mind.
Oh my goodness! But Dank clutches the round. He atones for his teammates' mistakes. Oh my goodness! Wow!
With
What
an
a
SMG,
roller
by
coaster
the
of a
way.
round to get his
With the
teammate off
Vesnev
on
in
the board.
hand.
Yeah.
I was about to call it the Vaznev. I'm not sure if it is called the Vaznev, but it's a Vaznev. We'll call it the Vaznev because it's a cool name. But man, an SMG.
A
nevertheless.
Russian-speaking friend of mine once corrected me after making a TikTok.
Yes.
It is pronounced Vichias.
Vicious. Okay.
Vicious. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even think that thing is a one-hit headshot. So the fact that Dank was able to, pick up both those kills, especially that kill on the player on the back wall there. I mean, that's a pretty, demoralizing feeling.
I think Dank is the only one running an SMG and to clutch it out as well.
Yeah, I mean,
The thing is, though, that the round that was a miracle play, just to put Ruby on the board, and I think that needs to serve as a wake-up call. And honestly, maybe it is because we're seeing some controlled aggression. Dank just needs to move a few inches to his right, and he could have so much impact for his team once again.
oh my.
Oh no,
God.
never mind. Swine might just swing into this. Does find one.
He finds
It's
two.
a double.
And now
On the other
Sapphire
side,
are
though.
surrounded on B short or A short.
And Dank
Oh
just
my
cleaning
gosh.
house. Dank, 6 kills in the last 2 rounds there. I mean, insane stuff overall. But, that's finally putting, Vanguard Gaming Ruby on the board, and they desperately need these rounds. I mean, it's a defender-sided map. The fact that Vanguard Gaming Sapphire already have 3 rounds on the board, that could even be enough as they swap sides. But, anything can happen. And that's
Yeah. If I'm in their shoes, if I have 3 rounds on Colonist side starting, I'm comfortable. If I have 4, I am sitting pretty. So if they just get one more round here, that's gonna give a huge morale boost going into the next half.
Oh, and they wind up
that's
trading.
a good.
Oh, in the trade, and again,
least-
that gives up so much map control.
Yeah, they gave up skate. They gave up skate park, and now Quick has to defend this alone. But even then, I think the rotate's going to be too late. Quick does try to throw a smoke to deny the vision, and at least give some type of distraction. But Quick, as that is going to be a control of B for the side of Sapphire, as that's going to be a plan. Dank, with the videos in hand, is able to find Blade. Just down to a 3v3, making it even. But Rave's able to find Haunted. Aru's taking down Dank just down the Seifeld. Does find one. Just down to a 1v2. And Rave has to dance around between his backside. Does find another. And it's just down the time to a 1v1. It's a peak. And Seifeld knows where the last is and maybe has to fake it off.
safe.
But this could be a half stick. It's just down the timing.
No
Just
tightness to push it. He doesn't have an angle.
There's no angle. And Seifeld gets the clutch.
Oh no.
A 1 versus 3 clutch coming out of Jerry Seinfeld themselves. Man, that is crazy stuff. Pros do not fake, and we've seen that yesterday, and we've seen that today, and they stick it. You see them even kind of leaning behind the wall a little bit more just at the end there, and they're just barely able to stick it. Even if they fell off of it, they would have had the time to go for the defuse, but the fact that, they said, I got this, fellas, and they stuck it. I mean, that alone is just major props for Seinfeld there. So a wonderful, 1 versus 3 clutch there.
Honestly, these rounds they're so close, but they're being won by these one-person heroics off of the players on Ruby. And I feel like Sapphire are relying so much on their coordination and reliably getting picks here and there. So it's Sapphire has a lot of structure it seems to fall back on, especially on their offense here, as we see them, utilizing this crab walk over and over again. But Ruby, it's one thing goes wrong when trying to make a hero play, and it's all over because it all balances on a razor's edge. But it looks like they might be tempering that just a little bit. Emilio is still in a rough spot. Is able to get 1, but again, that is so much map control given up for that 1 pick. and his teammates in the mid area
Oh,
are going
Quick
to get
is in a
wrapped
world
on
of
by
hurt for
another
this.
teammate. Yeah, Quick playing the headshot aim goal, able to get one, but again getting traded out because Sapphire are playing so close together. They're trading one another out so consistently, and let's see if Ruby can follow suit because they're in a 2v2 on a retake against a very hard site. And again, already 15 seconds down on the scanner.
Haunted has a smoke. They could try and deny visions that that's what's going to be thrown. That's going to deny back sight. But it's a 1v1. It's a trade, and Blaze able to get the kill, as that's going to be the round. And I think I do want to point out Haunted was there, and I think for this round and the last round, it was running an APC. And I don't think it's a unique choice, but I don't think it's going to do much compared to the videos.
Yeah, I mean,
I think even compared to the Viciaz, like it's still a gun that thrives in a correct context, but there are so many, especially when taking or retaking sites. There are so many headshot angles on both sites, on Kitty in particular, where the added headshot damage from an MK or even an AK, honestly, on this map can make the difference.
yeah, I mean, look at this. They're all just kind of hanging out in the museum here, which is not a spot that you see that is used normally on this map. It's used in other, game modes and whatnot, but again, I mean, you see Amelia over on her minimap, the number 1 doc, going over, getting pretty aggressive yet again. And we see some early Uto coming out. Nobody gonna be injured by that grenade. And we have 3 players over towards the A site. I feel like Ruby kind of rely on Emilio to see if they can take the risk and get that early information on defense so that they can, set their forces up properly.
And here's the push. They're pushing on through. It's going to be a full rotate. Then for the side. Thanks able to find A-Res on the push through. Blade as well. They're able to find another pick as well. Down to a 3v3. Down to a 3v2. So Nate's going to be thrown. Sapphire has made their way to the site, but there is a lot more defense. They were unsuccessful in their push. They weren't able to keep at least 4 players alive, as it's going to be another flashing towards the main side. But the side of Ruby anticipate this, just down a Wraith into a 1v3. They have to keep that gun up because Hunt is going to swing, and that is going to be a tie, as now we swap sides, and it's going to be a lot more closer this time.
Oh my god, these tie halves. getting me going here, but 4 rounds on the offense. That is certainly something that you got to feel good about if you're Vanguard Gaming Sapphire. We've said it over and over again, but I mean, it just kind of rings true, the fact that, despite the disadvantage, they tie the rounds, and that could even set them across for this entire, series here. So if you're Vanguard Gaming Ruby, you got to lock in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, look how aggressive they're playing. They're pushing onto this cave. They're just going to send this. Sapphire pushing on through. They are able to smell off this archer. They have to deal with Swan, who's behind his backside. And Swan does find 2 before going on, actually still alive. Emilio able to take down A-Res. That's going to be this flash thrown. Unfortunately, unable to find 1, making it an even 3v3. But the side of Ruby have successfully made their way onto the site. But there is no plan yet because they have dropped their diffuser. Or no, not their diffuser. They do have the scanner in hand, but they have to retrieve it. As Haunted goes down, Raph is still up, and Emilio and Dick are able to find 2, just down to Raph into a 1v2, but just on a slitter of help, stuck in arches with a post play in hand, and only so much that little PL-14 could do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation for Wraith here, and, a very good side take here as Dank is going to be shutting that retake down, and I actually do have to swap the sides here. So Vanguard Gaming Ruby going to be pulling off another round, the first time they've taken the lead this series. Let's see if they're able to continue it, and the fact that they get their first round on the offense is going to be good for them for this half. But now we've got full rifles. Everybody on MKs, nobody's messing around with, that funny little bullpup rifle or the AK-303, none of that business.
Grot B users, I can't imagine.
Grot B users.
What you got against Grot B?
I like the Grot B. You know what? I think it feels pretty good.
I think it's I think it's worse than the M4.
I don't know.
I mean, you look at it, the range compared to the M4, plus the really bad horizontal recoil.
You might have it there.
All I'm hearing is lack of first shot accuracy. I'm kidding.
I mean, if you're a first shot accuracy guy, then AK-303. I mean, that thing.
I think you're better off using the AK at that point.
Yeah.
It's like
Fair,
the middle. It's like
fair.
the middle sibling in the family.
Exactly.
But
Anyways, we do gotta focus on a game. Enough yapping from us, but we do see a bit of a push coming in from Ruby. They might be committing towards this mid side. They have 2 players towards this alleyway, as well as Street. Now that's gonna be a nade thrown. Ares is gonna swing on through. Unfortunately, unable to find one through this firefight. This fight one before going down. Rafe on the other hand, able to find one through that alleyway. That's another nade thrown, and that's 2. From Rave, it's just down to 1 on the side of Ruby, and just Haunted, wondering, where did my team go? So that's going to be another nade thrown, knowing that there's 1 towards this alley side. Titan swings, as that's going to give Haunted a kill. Knows where Blade is, but unfortunately unable to find the kill, as that is a tied round.
Haunted
What I loved that round out of Sapphire was as soon as Ruby began to collapse on the mid position from both going up the stairs and through the alley, is Util came in from multiple teammates all over the map to deny that push, and then they immediately got boxed in and surrounded by Sapphire players. That was very well played out of them. They didn't overcommit to try and force picks or anything. They just took all of the map control that was afforded to them, and Ruby had nowhere to go. But now they're just forcing the issue, going for another fast B take. Quick goes down first to a nade, but Dank finds the opening onto the site. His teammates are supporting him at Arches. Dmod, back site, gets taken out by Emilio, and Ruby are owning the B site all over it, and then the 3 remaining Sapphire players, now have a tall order ahead of them on this retake, having to clear this out together. Oh my goodness! But the 3v2, they're getting the opening picks. Haunted takes him out because Titan's not clearing his corners, and then
down to a 1v1.
Are we down to a 1v1? Wraith and Emilio, 2 high impact players for both teams, but Emilio comes out on top. Keeps a slight lead for his squad.
This has got to be so tense.
Here's the thing. This is crucial for the side of Ruby, because if they lose this, that's it. That is their run. They aren't qualifying to next week to top 8. And if you're Sapphire here, you don't want to lose this at all, because you're going to be forcing this map 3, which you don't want, because you are forcing this close. And you were able to close it out into Miru, even though that was close to I believe a round 17, but it's something that you do not want. But for Ruby, you want to try and close this out as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because, like we said earlier, like these colonist sides on Kitty are very difficult. It requires a lot of coordination and hitting your shots in order to make a chain, in order to chain a lot of rounds together on the colonist side. And Ruby also don't want to have to give up too much map control towards one site. So it's really a difficult balance for both teams here to be able to close out their rounds.
Look at this. I mean, the attention goes over on the A site, and, Vanguard Gaming Sapphire holding it down, but nobody's watching Alley. Seifeld has a very good flank opportunity here, but that gets shut down by Ares, and the push is looking to be set up towards B, and nobody's rotated yet. Dank and Ares going to be trading, and now it's going to be Spawn to try to hold things down, and the rotation is starting to come in from the rest of Vanguard Gaming Sapphire.
Swan hears this. I'm pretty sure that the audio's hearable. Haunted has made their way through, but Quick is able to find Swan, as that is going to be side control in the hands of Ruby. That's going to be the post plan for Quick, as that is going to be the scan active 2v2, as it's going to be even for both sides. I think that there is a bit of a health difference on Raph, but this is going to be crucial, as now it is going to be pure peaks, but Quick's able to find Titan, and Haunted gets the other kill, as that is going to be the second round in the hands of Ruby. And now they just need 2 more rounds, and they'll force map 3.
Yeah, I mean, Ruby are definitely feeling it right now. They are locked in. They are, ready to go. And, definitely a stark difference from half number one here. So they are, I'm thinking they've kind of recollected themselves, and especially, they've won 3 rounds already on the offense. I mean, we were at a 4-4 half, and now it's a 7-5. They're inches away from victory and forcing a map 3, which is of course what they want. And so, you gotta wonder, is Miru just kind of...
They're 2-3 split. You look at the map. They're doing a 2-3 split. They do have the scanner heavily on the 3 split, but I'm not sure if this is a appropriate call if you're an IGL here. As
I mean, it depends. It looks like they might be. They're in a position where they could either put utility on A and fake, or as their A players get up long, their the players more towards B have the opportunity to collapse through CT, and they can pinch on anyone who's towards A. But it looks like their B players are walking right into their hands, and that's going to allow Seafield the first pick, giving them the man advantage. But because they know one player rotated
off B, that is triggered the split right there. Smad's able to find one, unfortunately unable to find the kill onto Quick, as that is B control in the hands, as the Titans able to find Emilio with that frag grenade. But it doesn't even matter. That's going to be 45 seconds left remaining. Now the side of Sapphire have to defuse this, otherwise they will be facing map point. So nade's going to be thrown, but a peek there coming in from Dang. They don't manage to find this kill onto Highway. Meanwhile, on the other side, Quick and Blade are able to find each other in a trade. Ray able to find Haunted. Dang, but Dang might be too far to get this defuse. As Fez is just going to be sticking it. Rave is sticking this, but unfortunately unable to find the kill, as that is map point for Ruby. As this could be the deciding factor if we go to map 3 or not.
Yeah.
Oh wow! What a close round. If I'm Wraith sticking that deactivation, I think I have that. But when you're under so much pressure, when it's coming down to seconds between winning or losing, it's so hard to judge these things under that kind of pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, they had the intel. There's so many what ifs. What if Wraith acted a second earlier? What if they popped off the bomb even, and they decided, hey, I'm just gonna take this fight against Dank, who knows that I'm pushing. But it's a tough judgment call when you have just maybe 2 seconds left and you don't know how fast the player is going to get there. And I don't even think they really had much util there. I think most of them are rocking flashbangs and frag grenades, no real smoke grenades that you can play around. But again, Vanguard Gaming Ruby taking a book out of Sapphire's playbook, and they're also doing the patented crab walk strat. Ooh, Seifeld finds Blade there from a far angle, and now it's Titan to try to hold things here.
I don't think Titan doesn't have it. They did prime the frag grenade, but that might be a little bit too short. Never mind. It takes out the scanner. And now the side of Ruby, it's just down to 3 players left. Dank's able to find 2, making it even down to a 3v2. Amos is able to neutralize this down to a 2v2. Now it's a split push. Hante is able to find Titan down to... It's all down to Amos into a 1v2. The clutch has to happen to keep Sapphire in this. But the scans is gonna be active soon, unless they decide of Ruby opts to go for a hunt. But there's 30 seconds left on the clock. Nade's prime, flashbang as well. A flashbang toss, but I don't think it connects to anyone else. It's just gonna be a swing. It's Emilio and Aris that gets a gunfight onto Big Rock. As Haunted's close, he's close by, and Emilio gets a kill. And that is map 3. We are heading to the land of the free, as we are playing Sunna up next.
The home of the Sunna. Just like that, Vanguard Gaming Ruby, they flip the switch and they say, this is our game. We want to force a map number 3 here. And needless to say, they went ahead and did it. Vanguard Gaming Ruby taking the game number 2, and we're going to Sunna. Guys, you got your wish. We're going to Sunna.
Let's go! I am so excited to see a third map, honestly. But also because, look at the sportsmanship happening here. That's so wholesome. That's good for these guys. But yeah, no, another reason I am so excited to see Sunna as the decider for this series is because, like I said earlier, it's very much an aimers map. It is a map that just is for people who are very much able to win their aim duels, because there's so much of the map that can be divided by these long sight lines. And it just comes down, honestly, to sometimes who's having the better day or who's just got better mechanical skill. And I feel like with how much of a brawl that these first two maps have been, I think that Sunna is going to be just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I always love watching a Sunna game. It plays more like your typical classic first-person shooter maps. Long range angles galore, and it's always a fun time on Sunna. And the cast can't see the scoreboard right now, but I mean, a very even contribution coming out from both teams. I mean, Wraith at 14 kills, Smalled at 13, Ares at 11, Blade at 10, Titan at 6, and then Dank at 16 kind of being the star player there for the Ruby squad, and then Seifeld and Emilio at 11, Quick at 10, and Haunted at 8. It's looking like, they're just kind of taking a 5-minute rest here. So in the meantime, we'll give a little shout out to our sponsors here. Thank you, HyperX, for being a longtime sponsor of the VRML. They're actually doing a giveaway. You can get yourself a free ticket to VRML Con if you win this giveaway. And, that'd be a pretty cool thing to be able to do.
I believe we are posting that link next week for the finals. I believe that was for Breachers because they had their semis going on. But next week, we should be able to have a link dedicated for the VAIL side. Then after that, it is going to be one for X8 finals, which is something that you should also be tuning into.
Yeah, I mean, we give the VAIL peeps a little special treatment, I guess, But nah, be sure to keep your eyes out for that one. And, of course, thank you also goes to ProTube. ProTube also being a longtime sponsor of the VRML. I've mentioned it earlier. I've said it a few times. Whenever I'm on my Quest 3, if I'm using my Quest 3 for, traveling around and playing VR, I love the ProTube cups that slide on the Quest 3 controllers. They make the Quest 3 controllers so much better for my hands. I got big hands. I'm a decently big guy. And, having those, it makes everything a lot better. And plus, they make some really customizable and cool stocks. Tried and true and tested by many VR players around the world, and to the point where people are like, it's an advantage to have a stock. Well, if it is, go get yourself one.
It's ironic. You have mostly free hours. I do believe it is popular within the Onward people.
Oh yeah.
Because you are holding angles for way too long. But yeah, ProTube is a proud sponsor of the VRML. They've been with us for a very long time. I'm not sure how many years they've been with us, but I think they've been with us for, I think in the Onward section they've been with us for I think around a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, they've been a long time sponsor. ProTube's been around since the dawn of VR in the first place. So again, a tried, true, and tested product. But in the meantime, we'll take a short little ad break as we're waiting for our teams to get into game number 3 here. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Maybe.
Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Bruce right on top, placement. And there's a double kill that comes in from Koji from into the EMP inside. Two fire. Oh my god! No! It's last 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Stormy does flank around a big double, a triple.
And it's a double kill. The defense quick, able to fend off the backside. Mad Dog on the flank, shuts down with a triple. Holding this thing down with Quick and Sidefield pushing in, and down goes Sidefield. Quick's alone, and it's a double kill for Mad Dog to lock in another win.
My name is Mad Dog, and I'm on 8 Basils and Red. When I first started playing VR, I only had about a month before I joined a comp team. I didn't even know competitive was a thing. I started off in Contractors. That's where I met Neuros from Contractors. Him and Cleb and then a bunch of other people introduced me to Rec, and they wanted me on the team, so I've been on Rec since then.
We're into a full smoke play here. Akari will go down. Nero, Mad Dog flying through. Picks up a double.
So, a hot tip, you use this gun. The reason why I recommend this is because it has no recoil, and it has 3 positions which you can hold the gun with. You can hold the gun like this, or like this. And this allows you to find the most comfortable gun angle for you to aim with.
Are you freehand?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope for just overall more competitive players to join. Cool things can happen, like the VRML major, right? Shout out Blue for weighing over 240 pounds playing VR. He's my team captain.
Bruh.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Vince right on top, and there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy from into the EMP inside. He fires. Oh my God! No! It's not 5, 4, 3.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Stormy does flank around a big double, a triple.
And it's a double kill. The defense quick, able to fend off the backside. Mad Dog on the flank, shuts down with a triple. Holding this thing down with Quick and Sidefield pushing in, and down goes Sidefield. Quick's alone, and it's a double kill for Mad Dog to lock in another win.
My name is Mad Dog, and I'm on 8 Basils and Red. When I first started playing VR, I only had about a month before I joined a comp team. I didn't even know competitive was a thing. I started off in Contractors. That's where I met Neuros from Contractors. Him and Cleb and then a bunch of other people.
All right, folks, we're loading up the map slowly but surely, and Sunna is gonna be our map 3. Sunna. home and native, tried and true, the map where the boys become the men. Or sorry, I like to dramatically say. And we see Sapphire Squad starting over on the Rayab, and Vanguard Gaming Ruby going to be starting over on the Colonist side. So we're going to get this stuff started. And here we go. Round number 1, pistol round. We see an early B take setup coming in from the Vanguard Gaming Ruby squad. And we'll be sure to put on our outlines.
But also a B stack out of Sapphire.
Yeah, a little 3-man play coming out.
Yeah.
Like...
No mid presence, not even dedicated catwalk presence. Everywhere on the site. Smod is in a perfect position to pick off some damage, bait the opponents into his teammates. But again, we're seeing the signature Vanguard crab walk. So, but Ruby seems to be baiting out util from the Sapphire side. Oh, but Emilio is getting up Cat. Someone hears the coughing. Oh, but an excellent couple of shots. On to Ares. Cat control is theirs. Wraith through the underground. Drops a nade right on top of Emilio. 2v3 for Sapphire. Wraith coughing his way up the ladder. But there's no way for the Ruby players to know. The Titan is creeping up the ramp. Oh, but they do now. He's got to push in. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the reload eats Titan there. And Vanguard Gaming Ruby gonna be getting that first round. Again, we're coming down to these 1v1s. It's not even like we haven't seen a perfect round out of either team yet when nobody dies, but
man, the one time I went to go get water. All right.
Well, welcome back. We've come to the land of the free. We're in Sunna now, and the pistol round has gone to Vanguard Gaming Ruby. That is your TLDR, as some folks say it. But again, here comes a stack from the Sapphire squad. I mean, you know, Ares actually taking a lot of nade damage there. We can see that health bar going right down, and that's not what you want to deal with. But again, there's no mid defense here at all. And you got to wonder when somebody's going to get curious enough to start realizing that. I mean, you got 3 over on B, 2 over on A. Shots ringing out. Quick coming in with the bomb. Ooh. Just barely sees Smod there. Got to be throwing the nade and got to be missing. And the flashbang is going to be coming through. But look at this, too. I mean, Emilio's just kind of holding on to mid. Dank going to be throwing some utility as well. And look at this.
The Sapphire players haven't seen the scanner, so they haven't even fully rotated yet. They're still trying to contest mid. Ares able to get the pick onto Dank. They haven't cleared Emilio out. Oh, but now they have. He tipped his hand a little too early. Quick gets an equalizing frag onto Blade. Battle of the captains, and it's a 3v3. Make that a 3v2 as Titan denies Haunted's push.
Quick getting aggressive and able to find Titan. Tries to start the scan, but Ares shutting it down. Just down to a 1v1 Wraith versus Seifeld. And Wraith is just hanging by that ladder. He's just hoping that Seifeld does get aggressive. But there's 30 seconds left on the clock. Scanner is on that site to work with. Just the one hand there coming in from Wraith. In just a matter of time, 20 seconds left. The time's ticking down. Does Seifeld clear the ladder, or does one of them get aggressive? There's too much IQ being made from Seifeld, but Wraith tries to peek through, but you can't one-hand that ladder for much long. As that gives Ruby their second round on Sunna.
I think if you're Wraith there, I don't even think you peek the ladder. Like, yeah, you have
to just wait for Scanner, because I'm pretty sure someone should have called it out by now.
Oh, I don't know. Those moments are so tense. Like, you can peek the ladder and have like a slight advantage if you land the one-handed shot, but especially at such a close range. But if you don't peek it, like, he hears the footsteps above him. If he gets peeked into, he's still at a little bit of a disadvantage with the peeker's advantage in this game. So honestly, it could have gone either way.
I think they finally have a mid defender this time, so hopefully they aren't suspecting any catwalk pushes as long as Blade's able to hear some of these audio cues. But the push is heavily centered towards this A side, or no, B side, excuse me. Down to a 3v. It's actually going to be a 3-on-2 onto this, as Ares is the only defender between that sandbags. there is still no damage being thrown. Smokes there does open up a gap a little bit, as that actually leaves another gap open in the smoke. So the cross is going to be a little bit more difficult, but Dace is able to find Aris with that impact grenade, as Honda's able to find Rafe. Swaz able to get a pick though, as that is still control for the side of Ruby. They somehow managed to give up Catwalk, as that is a guaranteed host plant. I'm not sure where the scanner is, as Dank is able to find Smad before dropping down and immediately falling to Blade. Time's able to find Emilio just down to Blade into a 1v3 swing, able to find Emilio, as just there's 40 seconds left. Scan in the hands of Seifeld, as that is going to be the post plant there. 45 seconds left, extra time, and Blade rotating all the way through long. Might be running into Haunted, who's holding the angle, but does Blade anticipate in the coming side? Does aim towards it, but unable to find the shot, as that gives Ruby their third on Sunna. And could we potentially be seeing a five round lead?
That's crazy. I mean, 3-0 for a start. I think Ruby had flipped the switch. Something happened to game number 2 where they're just like, man, I don't want to lose today. I want to get to top 8. Let's make it happen, fellas. And it seems like the team is on the same page there, especially, you know, Seifeld already 5-0 actually, I think, with 1 assist. If I'm reading that right, if that's KDA, but yeah, I mean that's insane. And we see Sapphire have made the adjustment, put the player towards mid, and we actually have an aggressive cat player in the form of Ares there. But again, just the 4-man stack, and look at this from Emilio too. They're over on that.
They're pushing this again. They're doing the same thing. And this time the smoke spray coming in. That nade almost found 2 players. It almost found Dank and Haunted, but the smoke's there. Nade's gonna be thrown, as that is the vision denied for the side of Sapphire. But Smad's able to find Quick, able to drop that scanner in hand. That's gonna be another flashing 2 players, as Smad's able to find Seifeld faking that his double. And now the flanks coming in on the other side. Look at your mini-map. You have 5 and 2. Pressing to the long side. Smad's able to find one before getting traded out. Blade from the other side takes down Haunted. And it's just down to Emilio into a 1v4. And all the way on the other side of A. And just the scanners on the other side. But Sapphire, they have the scanner in their vision. They're going to set up for it. And there's 35 seconds left. Nothing Emilio could do here, as this looks like the first round gain for the side of Sapphire.
Yeah, I mean,
And honestly, this is when they really needed that round, just because it's like a 2-round lead this early in the game is not much. But if Ruby were to extend this to 4, then that would just be that is a hard ask to come back for. So
yeah, I mean,
excellent timing.
Vanguard Gaming Sapphire able to take that round. I mean, if you're going for the flank, if you're Emilio, that's always a cool thing. But I mean, it was to the point where he's literally in God's country while everybody else is just kind of, doing their own thing. And
How many USA jokes or one-liners do we get
I'm
away
here
with?
all day, baby.
Just patriotism. Wow, because the lore says, for a friend from the care packages, that poster, that dumb stupid poster, an oil rig in the western side of Texas. So there's a little bit of lore for you. Those are unaware of where Sunna is located.
This is in fact Texas, Beyonce.
Yeah. Actually, as the person who made some lore TikToks for the official VAIL account, I can confirm this is in Texas. So,
Ooh, Small finding a kill there first. Yeah, Seifeld. Oh. Dank gonna be getting the trade though, and look at this though. Quick and Emilio have just all walked into the A site, and they're just kind of by themselves. And look at this. We see some aggression already coming in from Wraith and Blade. Haunted finds one, trying to see if maybe they can extend it. They know 1 player is at mid, so at most there could be 2 over on the A site as they go for this retake, and just like that, Haunted finds another. But
what a flick!
Yeah, Haunted finding that very important kill, even in the score back to a 2-on-2. And it's looking like Quick is trying to find some sort of damage here. The retake has to start coming in a little bit faster. Quick finds 1, and now Emilio comes in and gets tight in there, and Vanguard Gaming Ruby extending their lead to a 4-1. Now, question for you fellas. Is this map attacker sided or defender sided, in your personal opinions?
I'd argue that it is. I'd say the colonist side. Even though this kind of layout is kind of common in a lot more shooters, I'd say on this map, especially the way that the netcode is on VAIL, I think it heavily favors the colonist first.
I would agree. I would say it has a slight advantage for the colonists. Just because you have so many angles to utilize at long range, you can peek pretty safely to gather info, and it's very easy to clear these sites, especially Quick proving my point with a perfect nade.
I was gonna say, I hate to interrupt you there, but Quick throwing in a little 3-pointer for the cast there as he gets that nade kill. Emilio getting taken out on the lurk, and so now they know pretty definitively that most of the players are over on the B site there. A lot of utility just flying in just left and right. Aries just tucked up in the corner there. It is a 3v4 retake here. Oh, more nades coming out, but not actually connecting, and no players over on long. Everybody, look at this. Dank and Haunted just kind of, you know, hugging it out there. Oh, Quick picking up too, and just like that, Dank and Blake to be trading, and just like that, Vanguard Gaming's Ruby are picking up yet another round.
Yeah, no, absolutely great rounds out of them. They had some questionable offense. I'm thinking especially on Miru, but it seems they're really getting it together on here. And like we said, this is an offense-sided aimers map. So it's like there's no shortage of talent on Ruby. And while there were some tactical or strategic shortcomings highlighted on previous maps, I think this is the place for them to showcase that they can click heads. And click heads is just what they got to do, and they might be able to get move on to top 8 with it.
And look at this, Dank potentially trying to see if they can find the number 4 player there. Oh, Dank finds one, but all the patience coming out from Titan. He finds one, but Dank able to throw that nade post-mortem and gets the kill on the Titan, and just like that, the site push is in effect, and Haunted and Seifeld both picking up quick frags there, and now it's Aries versus 4, and Aries throwing the flashbang there, and that's going to give away their position, and just like that, they're going to get caught out. Oh, there it is. The cheers.
This might be the most one-sided one. You know, it was.
This is by far the biggest lead we've had.
Yeah, this is probably one of the more dominant sides we see in this entire series, and it does look like I think I'd have Ruby might be able to take this whole thing.
Yeah, no, potentially. That's how it's looking right now. It's the last round of the half, and if I'm Sapphire, I am playing lights out for this round because it's much easier to go in with 2 rounds to work with from your defensive side than it is only 1. So I hope they're able to lock in here, and then regardless, they're going to have crazy mental fortitude in order to bring it back in the next half. Oh, Titan gets the opening pick, though. They have the man advantage. Smod gets caught off guard, doesn't quite get the sound cues. Quick, able to take the pen position, putting utility, pushing the Sapphire players off of Cat. Emilio stops looking at Scaffold at just the wrong time, still gets the trade, leaves Wraith and Blade in a 2v2. Wraith, probably the highest impact player for Sapphire in this series so far, with his captain, gets the opening pick onto Seafield, leaving Haunted in a 1v2. I think Seafield may have overextended. They might be getting a little overconfident, taking 1v1s they don't need to take. And there's a second round for Sapphire. Let's hope they can make it a third with this pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a shocker that, you know, Ruby lets that round go. I mean, they had full site control. They had the picks. They had the player numbers, and then what happened? You know, like that's got to be a little bit of a downer to the end of the first half there if you're Vanguard Gaming Ruby. But early nades coming out. Nobody getting damaged just yet, but we're actually... Oh, Seifeld getting an early pick. Oh, Titan not able to connect the shots. We're going to fall off. Actually, we're going to go right back. Dank maybe trying to see if they can find the shots, but as
Seinfeld's the only defender on his B site.
But the
and
scanner-
Seinfeld just drops down a ladder. That's definitely a scan. That's gonna be the post plan. But Seinfeld manages to find 2, and Seinfeld gets 3 before dropping down, as that is the 7 secured for the side of Ruby. No, yeah, that is Ruby right there.
that is a
Man.
4K from Seifeld on that pistol
Yeah.
round. He's solo holding B, pretty much.
Yeah, no, like everything should have worked in Sapphire's favor there. But Seifeld, through just some good positioning and repositioning, as well as some great shots, is able to just take a few 1v1s, land some quick taps, and just decimate Sapphire. Because they're just now just 2 rounds away from making their way to top 8 and winning the championship Challengers Cup.
Yeah, and so we're gonna crab walk along with Sapphire here. And we
Emilio's
actually...
doing the same thing. Emilio's getting aggressive. Oh, Emilio makes a
Oh
couple. Smoke
my
and finds
God!
2.
You
That
cannot.
is scanner down towards the long side. And Rafe is able to swing through, but the damage has been done. Rap has to wrap all the way through and retrieve that scanner. That is going to buy enough time for the side of Ruby to be able to freely rotate towards this A site.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
able to just get that, able to play a lot more defense.
if you're Sapphire there, how do you let Emilio get away with 1 and 2? I mean, even just you heard
There
him
was a
cough.
cough as well.
Yeah,
I
he was
mean, so
coughing his
side of
lungs
Sapphire,
out.
They have to hear that.
But man, that is unfortunate if you're Vanguard Gaming Sapphire, but great if you're Rayab. He does get traded out, almost makes it away. If he were able to get away with that uncontested, I mean, oh, come on. That is just nuts. And
Yeah,
so
thankfully
Vanguard...
Wraith was able to trade him out after that, so he didn't get it entirely for free, but it's still 2 picks, and I think it was just, honestly, just a little bad luck, because it's like no one expects someone to take that kind of fight, and
they're focusing all their resources towards this B side. They have a frag grenade as well. They're tossing the smoke. It's going live, and it's gonna be the sprays through. They have no defenders on B. Seifeld's able to find Smad, but it's just down to a 2v4. Nade's thrown in.
Oh my
Perfect onto
goodness.
Rave, and it's just down to Titan into a 1v4. Tries to spray through the smoke, but 10 seconds left. Nothing Titan could do. Just gonna stand there, throw a nade. Does find one, but just not enough time.
And he tries to go for the pre-fire. Titan actually taking out Haunted. So both these players just going to hide away, making sure they don't get picked here. And Titan getting a free kill post round.
Oh my god, what a heartbreaking round for Sapphire, but how amazing it must feel for the players on Ruby to be on championship point. It's going to take everything out of Sapphire, like, just to be able to come back from this.
Yeah,
But honestly, if they do it, they deserve it.
this
Because they have a huge uphill battle for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking like a fall from grace right now. Oh, no nade damage. Dank gonna get aggressive into the lower tunnels there, and we do see Titan and Blade, the dynamic duo here, trying to get some of this mid control, but they're gonna walk right into the sight lines of Quick there. But it really depends on who's gonna spot it here first. We see Seifeld once again in what I like to refer to as the Global Chem spot. Shout out to them, but you know, this back barrel here. I don't know what other people call it, but you know, it's a one and done spot for sure. But
look at Catwalk. They were just sitting next to each other for a good 15 seconds. And that's going to be their signal to push in. Someone has to clear this.
Ninja. Oh, this is a bit.
They don't clear it! No! Oh my god!
Titan does find Seifeld.
As this turns around and Blade goes
Another
down.
nade! You don't even see where it comes from.
This is the round, and that is done. Ruby has won the Challenger Cup. They will qualify for next week as the 8th wildcard seed.
That is a G.
The absolute genius from Seifeld to hold the trigger.
Yeah. Oh
There
my
is
lord.
no way.
That
I'll be
is
seeing that again.
a G mother flippin' G, as we're gonna roll that little win there for our Vanguard Gaming Ruby squad.
Yeah, no, honestly, what a match. Even though that last map, it wasn't the 8-9 they put in the script, you know, but oh my gosh, it was so good, because even though the scoreboard says 9-2, the rounds were so close.
I mean, yeah,
but unfortunately, the only thing that matters is being able to close out those individual rounds.
They came down to
good
1v1s.
Yeah, no, so many of them came down to 1v1s until the very end. like, oh god. But for Sapphire, I can't imagine how heartbreaking those rounds were. So many deaths happened to, honestly, pushes that I would have written off as stupid, but they worked. It's like, what do you do when Emilio pushes in to A tunnels and 2 of your players just happen to line up, and then you rotate around the map, you go to B, and grenades come out of nowhere, and you don't even see anyone, and you're just out of the round.
You
Like,
know
what a heartbreaking, what a couple of last heartbreaking rounds, but very well played from Ruby.
I mean, you know what? I mean, we might call some of those plays stupid, but maybe Emilio is just the giga brain that none of us have ever seen before. I mean, man was making 500 IQ pushes and taking some insane gambles, and it took off, and especially in some of those last rounds. But I think the man of that match, of course, has to be Seinfeld. 4K in a pistol round, 3K in that last round, nades galore. I mean, he was popping off that match.
Absolutely. Very consistent impact throughout the Challengers Cup. I even remember playing against him yesterday. He was the player we were most worried about isolating in our 1v1s. And if we picked him off, we had a little bit more confidence going into a site take, or holding a site even.
Yeah, but
So yeah, no, man of the match, absolutely.
But that will, of course, do it for today. Vanguard Gaming Ruby will be moving on, taking that 8th place spot. They are your Challenger Cup champions, meaning that they will face presumably Acer as, you know, I believe it's 1 versus 8 in the quarterfinals there, as we look to close out our Season 1 of VAIL and figure out what 2 teams will be flown out to Denver to compete in the VRML Con alongside some of the other VR greats. It's already been confirmed on the Breacher side that it is Acer and F3, so we're looking to see what teams are going to be representing the VAIL side of things, and of course the X8 side of things in the next couple weeks and onward too. So be sure to catch all that juicy action over at VRML. Again, shout out to all of the sponsors for everything you do. HyperX, ProTube, you name it. Been longtime supporters. We love to see it. Otherwise, I think that is going to do it. Gentlemen, do you have any final words before we close off for the evening?
All I have is GG's to Vanguard Gaming, Sapphire, and Ruby. Y'all played excellent today.
I think after that round, I think this is a clear reminder that everything is not safe in VAIL. But I think in the meme way, I guess you could say that Vanguard won.
Vanguard was winning either way.
Yeah, honestly.
Did win either way. But man, that is what a way to send off the Challenger Cup.
Yeah, I mean, a sister team, a rival match, you know, Ruby versus Sapphire. How many times have we seen that in video game history? I mean, there's 2 games, Ruby and Sapphire, but, you know, I had to make that reference, of course. But, you know, a hearty GG's to both teams. Congratulations to Vanguard Gaming Ruby. They will be moving on in the Challenger Cup, and that is going to do it. So, again, my name has been Yellow Hat. Appreciate being your host today. And, of course, shout out, of course, to my fellow co-hosts, Gaijin and Heritage. Thank you, two, for coming along.
Happy to be here.
And we will, of course, see you in the next one. Take it easy.
VAIL VRML is brought to you by XLab, Exclaim,
Helga, the esports manager. HyperX. ProTube VR. VR Cover. Thanks for watching VRML.